Hyperconjugation, it is also known as no-bond resonance or Baker-Nathan effect. Before starting hyperconjugation, let us see two types of bonds, cleavages or breakages or fission. Now the first one is homolytic cleavage. In this case, a bond AB undergoes cleavage in such a way that the shared electron pair is equally withdrawn by A and B. So, A will be provided with a single electron in an orbital and B will be provided with a single electron in its orbital. Now, these species are called free radicals. Now, in heterolytic bond fission or cleavage, the bond leaves in such a way that the electronegative atom takes up the pair of electron in the bond. So here the curved arrow shows that the electron pair goes to B, which is the most electronegative atom, and B will be provided with a pair of electron and negative charge. A will be provided with a positive charge and a vacant orbital. Now consider ethyl chloride molecule. Now carbon 1 and 2 are sp3 hybridized. Now the CH bond is obtained by the overlap between a hybrid orbital of carbon and a short 1s orbital of hydrogen. So it is the shortest bond in ethyl chloride. Now between C1 and C2, two hybrid orbitals of carbon overlap, and between C1 and Cl, the overlap is between a hybrid orbital over carbon 1 and a 3p orbital of chlorine. The 3p orbital of chlorine is having a lower electron density and a longer length. So CCl bond will be longer in length and will be having a shorter electron density in the overlapped region. So since it is longer, the bond energy required for breakage of CCl bond as Cl negative is the lowest, and CH bond is the shortest, and CC bond is intermediate between CH and CCl bonds. Now the homolytic bond dissociation energies for CC, CH and Cl are given. For CC bond, the bond dissociation energy is 88 kilocalories per mole, and the CH bond, which is the shortest bond, have the highest bond dissociation energy, that is 98, and CCl bond, which is the longest, possesses the lowest bond dissociation energy, that is 81 kilocalories per mole. Now the heterolytic bond dissociation energies will be similar. That means CCl bond will have the lowest heterolytic bond dissociation energy. Now when we supply the heterolytic bond dissociation energy for a CCl bond, the molecule ethyl chloride can dissociate into CH3 CH2 positive and Cl negative. CH3 CH2 positive is called a carbocation. Now it is found that the bond energy supplied will be taken up by the fragments formed. That is, the bond energy supplied to ethyl chloride molecule will be shared between the carbocation and the chloride ion, and these energies will be remaining as the potential energies of CH3 CH2 positive and Cl negative. So CH3 CH2 positive will be at a higher potential energy and so it is unstable. Now, as long as we supply the bond energy needed to break the CCl bond, the dissociated fragments, that is the carbocation and the chloride ion, will remain at this higher potential energy. Just like the magnets, which tend to attract when their fields overlap, and we are holding the magnets tightly so that they cannot move forward, then the magnets will acquire our energy as the potential energy of the system, and then it will be at a higher potential energy, but still the system is unstable, and so when we release our hands, the magnets will move forward and come into contact. Now, at the higher potential energy state, these magnets can be kept as such without any movement. Similarly, as long as we supply the energy needed to break the bonds, the fragments will remain as such, they will not combine. But once we remove the energy needed to break the bond, the ethyl carbocation and the chloride ion will combine together, reaching an energy equal to the bond energy needed to break the CCl bond. So, bond energy released during exothermic reaction and bond energy is absorbed during endothermic reaction. So, bond breakage is endothermic and bond formation is exothermic. Now, chloride ion and ethyl carbocation are unstable in the gaseous phase, but when the reaction is conducted in a liquid medium, a polar medium like water, a large number of water molecules with their positive end will surround the chloride ion, and a weak ion dipole bond is formed between chloride ion and the positive end of polar water molecule. Now, it's a weak bond, but when a large number of molecules are surrounding chloride ion, the sum of all these weak bonds will amount to a large energy released, so that the potential energy of chloride ion will be released to a large extent, and it will be stabilized in a polar medium, and this process is called solvation, and the energy released by solvation is called solvation energy. Since a carbocation like ethyl carbocation is larger in size than chloride ion, the solvation will be less effective for stabilizing it, and so it will be highly unstable. So, in general, we can say that a carbocation is unstable due to the potential energy acquired by the cation when it is formed from a molecule. Now, hyperconjugation can occur when a CH sigma bond is conjugated, or it is alternate to a positive charge or an A double bond B or A triple bond B system. So, hyperconjugation is the conjugation between a CH sigma bond and a positive charge or another double bonded or triple bonded system, or another conjugated system which is conjugated to, which is alternate to a CH sigma bond. Now, consider the case of ethyl chloride. Now, CCl bond undergoes hydrolysis when energy is supplied, and we get ethyl carbocation, where the carbon atom 1 possesses a positive charge. Now, this positive charge is alternate to this CH bond, this CH bond and this CH sigma bond. Now the carbon, positive carbon is sp2 hybridized, while carbon 2 is sp3 hybridized. Now during hyperconjugation, the CH bond, that is CH1 bond here, shown here, the carbon atom takes up the electron pair shared between hydrogen and carbon. So hydrogen is left with a positive charge, carbon with a negative charge, and possessing a lone pair orbital. Now the molecule will rotate in such a manner, here the ion will rotate in such a manner that the lone pair orbital and the vacant p orbital over carbon positive are in a plane, are in the same plane. Now the lone pair orbital is slightly away from this p orbital due to the tetrahedral nature of carbon negative, which is sp3 hybridized. Then carbon 2 undergoes a change in hybridization from sp3 to sp2. So we get a p orbital with a lone pair, a pair of electron and negative charge, and the CH bonds lie in a plane perpendicular to the p orbital containing lone pair of electrons. Now the angle between this lone pair and the CH bond or this bond will be 90 degree, and hence there can arise lone pair bond pair repulsion. So this structure is again unstable due to this repulsion between lone pairs and bond pairs. Now this repulsion can be avoided by overlap between the lone pair orbital and the vacant orbital here. When this overlap occurs, one electron from this lone pair orbital is given to this orbital, so that the positive charge of this carbon is lost. And again, when one electron is removed, the negative charge of this carbon is also lost. So we get a bond between these two carbon atoms, a pi bond. Now the structure 2 here shown, structure 2 is called a hyperconjugation canonical structure. Now some say that the H positive is not free and it is embedded in the pi electron cloud. Embedded means immersed in the pi electron cloud or inside the pi electron cloud, so it is never free. Now the ion can rotate in a manner such that the CH bond is in the plane of the positive carbon orbital, and then hybridization change occurs to sp2, and then the lone pair orbital overlaps with the vacant orbital over carbon 1, which is positive, and so that the two charges neutralize. Now all these situations can be represented by a single step, that is the CH bond here shifting in this direction, and we get a double bond with the H positive in close contact with the CH2 double bond CH2 system. So this structure, this is a single structure. This should not be considered as ethylene and a proton, but this proton is in close contact with the CH2 double bonded system, and this as a single structure is called hyperconjugation canonical structure. Now there are two other CH bonds, CH2 and CH3. Now these two CH bonds also can undergo similar changes. So this CH bond can shift in this direction, this CH bond can shift in this direction, giving two other structures. So altogether we have three such structures for ethyl carbocation. Now the net effect is that the bond between carbon and hydrogen is partly driven to the position in between carbon 1 and 2. So electron density moves from the position between carbon and hydrogen to the position between carbon and carbon. So there is movement of electron pair to form the canonical structure shown. So the CH sigma bonded electron pair moves towards the positive carbon. So length of movement is increased so that potential energy of the system decreases and there is attainment of stability. So stability is attained by movement of the sigma bonded electron pair towards the positive carbon. Now the resonance hybrid, whose approximate structure may be represented like this. There is a partial bond between carbon and hydrogen atoms. There is a partial double bond between carbon atoms and a partial positive charge over the first carbon, which was earlier connected to chlorine, and then partial charges over the hydrogen atoms of the methyl group. Now here the delta positive charge carried by hydrogen and delta dash positive charge carried by carbon are not equal. Most of the charge is centered over this carbon carbon 1, which was originally connected to chlorine. This is because the CH bond is a sigma bond, and to mobilize this sigma bonded electron, which is strongly connected to carbon and hydrogen, a sigma bond is in between, the sigma bonded electron pair is in between the carbon and hydrogen atoms, so they are strongly attracted by carbon and hydrogen. So it is difficult to mobilize a sigma bonded electron pair. And again, the sigma bonded electron pair is getting converted to a weak pi bond. Now during formation of a sigma bond, large amount of energy is released, whereas during formation of a pi bond, a comparatively small amount of energy is released. So the system where sigma bond is converted to a pi bond will have a slightly higher potential energy due to the lower bond strength of a pi bond. So that the canonical structure during hyperconjugation or the hyperconjugation canonical structures are not so stable as the canonical structures observed in mesomeric effects. So this is one disadvantage of hyperconjugation. In a mesomeric effect, we are dealing with only pi bonds or lone pairs, whereas in a hyperconjugation we are dealing with a strong bond, sigma bond, connected to hydrogen atom. So a great energy is needed to take this electron to move towards the positive carbon or to mobilize the electron pair during conjugation. Now consider a secondary carbocation. A secondary carbon means a carbon directly bonded to two other carbons. So this carbon is directly bonded to this carbon and this carbon is directly bonded to this carbon. So a carbon directly bonded to two other carbons is called a secondary carbon. Now the secondary carbon here possesses a positive charge and this carbocation is called isopropyl carbocation. Now there two methyl groups are there. Then the hydrogen atoms of one methyl group numbered 1, 2, 3. Then the hydrogen atoms of the other methyl group numbered 4, 5 and 6. All the 6 hydrogen atoms can get involved in hyperconjugation, or all the CH sigma bonds can get involved in hyperconjugation. So one such structure is shown here where the CH1 sigma bond is involved in hyperconjugation. So this bonded pair of electron is localized in the structure. When it moves to this position, we say the bonded pair is delocalized. So delocalization is a term used in resonance. Then one such canonical hyperconjugation canonical structure is shown here. Then this methyl group is also involved in hyperconjugation. The CH bonds in this methyl group are also involved in this hyperconjugation. So we can draw another canonical structure. Where the CH6 bond is shifting in this direction, so that the bond here now comes here as a pi bond. Then this canonical structure is also contributing to the final resonance hybrid. So altogether 6 hydrogen atoms are involved. Then the carbon-carbon bonds, 2 carbon-carbon bonds are there, get pi bond character. All the hydrogen atoms are connected by weak bonds, and this will be the approximate structure of the resonance hybrid. Now in the case of ethyl carbocation, we have 3 hyperconjugation canonical structures. The 3 structures found here are similar in that here we have H plus as the first hydrogen atom, and 2 and 3 here. Then in the second canonical structure we have H plus as the second hydrogen atom and 1 and 3 here, and in the third canonical structure we have H plus as the third hydrogen atom and 1 and 2 here. So altogether 3 canonical hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible, and these 3 structures are similar. And whenever similar structures are contributing to the resonance hybrid, resonance is more effective. So from all the 3 CH bonds, electron density flows towards the positive charge. Now we can say the positive charge which was initially carried by this carbon is shared by all the hydrogen atoms. So whenever there is a positive charge over a carbon, and if other atoms are ready to share the positive charge, the system attains stability. For example, we attend a funeral ceremony and friends and relatives assemble in the family of the deceased or dead person. There, these friends and relatives share the sorrow of the family so that the family gets some peace or pacification of mind. Similarly, when the positive charge over carbon is shared by these hydrogen atoms, the system as a whole gets some peace or a stability. So, for isopropyl carbocation, we have altogether 6 canonical structures, and we can understand this number 6 by counting the number of hydrogen atoms on methyl groups connected to the positive carbon. There are 2 methyl groups and a total of 6 hydrogen atoms are connected to the carbon atoms of the methyl groups, so that we can say 6 hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible, whereas in ethyl carbocation, to the positive carbon only 3 hydrogen atoms are connected to the carbon of the methyl group. So we say there are 3 hydrogen atoms connected to the carbon, connected to the positive carbon. So we say there are 3 hyperconjugation canonical structures. Now again, this carbon is a primary carbon because it is directly bonded to only one carbon. So when a carbon is directly bonded to only one carbon or no carbon, it is called a primary carbon. When a carbon is connected directly to 2 other carbons, we call it a secondary carbon. And a secondary carbocation, since there are 2 methyl groups and a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrogen atoms are connected to the carbons of the methyl group, we can say 6 hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible. So when we consider a third case, a third example, that of tertiary-butyl carbocation, we have 3 methyl groups directly bonded to the positive carbon. 1, 2, 3 methyl groups directly bonded to the positive carbon, and a total of 9 hydrogen atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hydrogen atoms are there. So we can say 9 CH sigma bonds are alternate to the positive charge. So we can say that 9 hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible. All these 9 hyperconjugation canonical structures are similar, so they possess the same energy, and when similar structures contribute to the resonance hybrid, the stability of the system is large and the extent of electron pair movement is greater in the case of tertiary butyl carbocation. So we compare ethyl carbocation, which is a primary carbocation. In addition to the original carbocationic structure, we have 3 hyperconjugation canonical structures for ethyl carbocation. When we come to a secondary carbocation, that is isopropyl carbocation, we have 2 methyl groups connected. So there are 6 CH bonds alternate to the positive carbon, and hence 6 hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible. And when we come to a tertiary butyl carbocation, there are 9 CH bonds alternate to the positive carbon. So 9 equivalent or similar canonical hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible, and the extent of electron pair movement is highest in the case of a tertiary butyl carbocation. So it is the most stable one, and hence when we compare the stabilities of various types of carbocations, we find that tertiary carbocation, which has the maximum number of hyperconjugation canonical structures is the most stable, and the second one most stable one is secondary carbocation, and then comes primary carbocation, and a methyl carbocation is the least stable because there is no hyperconjugation in a methyl carbocation shown here, no hyperconjugation. Now, apart from this hyperconjugation in various types of carbocations, there is the inductive effect operating in these carbocations. For ethyl carbocation, we have one methyl loop connected to the positive carbon, and methyl loop has a carbon connected to 3 H atoms, and the electronegativity of carbon is 2.5, that of hydrogen is approximately 2.1, so that the CH bonds will be slightly shifted towards the carbon atom and polarity arises, and this carbon possesses a delta negative charge, and so when such a group is connected to a carbon chain, that means a CH3 group connected to a carbon chain, due to the delta negative charge of this carbon atom, there is a pushing of electron pair towards the other carbons, so that we say electron density is injected into this carbon chain by the methyl group, and this effect is called plus inductive effect or plus I effect. So, due to plus I effect also, the inductive effect also, plus inductive effect also, pushing of electron density towards this positive carbon can cause a decrease in this positive charge. And when we compare the ethyl carbocation, we have one methyl group and one plus I effect. When we compare isopropyl carbocation, we have two methyl groups and so two plus I effects. And when we come to tertiary-butyl carbocation, we have 3 methyl groups and 3 plus I effects operating along these bonds, so that again the positive charge is partly neutralized or a positive charge is shared. So all these effects cumulatively stabilize the tertiary carbocation the most, and secondary carbocation the medium, and primary carbocation the least. And there is no hyperconjugation in a methyl carbocation, and so it is not so stable as tertiary, secondary or primary. Now coming to other examples, you consider propene molecule, that is CH3, CH double bond CH2. Now between carbon 2 and 3 there is a double bond, and between carbon 1 and 2 there is a single bond, and due to hyperconjugation the CH bond will be shifting in this direction, and the pi bond here will be shifting over the carbon, means the electron pair in the pi bond will remain in the orbital of this carbon, giving it a negative charge, and hydrogen is left as positive edge, and it is not free, it is connected to this system. And in the resonance hybrid we will be having double bond character between carbon 1 and 2. Here also there are 3 CH bonds conjugated to the pi bond. So this H sigma bond is alternate to this pi bond, this H sigma bond is alternate to this pi bond, this sigma bond is alternate to this pi bond. So all these CH bonds are conjugated to the pi bond. So all these CH sigma bonds can get involved in hyperconjugation. So similar to structure 2 we have two other structures. So altogether 3 hyperconjugation canonical structures are possible. Now in the resonance hybrid, the carbon between the carbon 1 and 2 will be having partial double bond character. Now the usual carbon single bond carbon length is approximately 1.54 angstrom units. The usual carbon double bonds will be having a length of approximately 1.34 angstrom units. And in propene, since the bond between 1 and 2 possesses partial double bond character due to contribution of such structures, the bond length is approximately 1.49, which is less than 1.54. And since this double bond is getting converted to a single bond here, the bond order of this 2,3 bond will be less than 2. It will be in between bond order 2 and bond order 1, so that the bond length will be in between a double and a single bond. And since this is a charged structure, its contribution of character will be less. This is uncharged, so this hyperconjugation canonical structure will contribute less to the resonance hybrid. And so the pi bond character of this bond here, double bond character of this bond, will not be decreased much, so that the bond length for carbon-carbon double bond in propene, that is between 2 and 3, the bond length is 1.35, which is slightly higher than 1.34 for a usual double bond. Now another example is that of acetaldehyde, which undergoes hyperconjugation. There is a CH3 group connected to CHO group, that is the aldehydic group. CHO group is called the aldehydic group. Now this CH bond can shift in this direction, and this CH bond is alternate to this double bond. So conjugation can occur, CH bond shifting in this direction. This bond will be polarizing over oxygen atom, ionizing, so that the pair of electron in the pi bond will go entirely into the orbital of oxygen, giving a negative charge, and hydrogen will be left with a positive charge. Since there are three CH sigma bonds, we say 3 such canonical structures are possible. Again, the C1 to C2 bond will have a partial double bond character due to these 3 canonical structures. So its bond order will be slightly increased because the contribution of these charged structures is less than this uncharged structure, so that the bond length will be slightly less than 1.54 for a usual carbon-carbon single bond. Another important observation of hyperconjugation in this molecule is that a carbonyl group is polar, and we can calculate a quantity parameter called dipole moment, which is represented by mu, and mu is equal to, we can say, delta R, where mu is the dipole moment and delta is the partial charge over oxygen atom or carbon atom. The magnitude of that partial charge over carbon or oxygen is called delta, and R is the distance between the nuclei of carbon and oxygen. Now here, as delta increases, mu increases. In the case of acetaldehyde, due to hyperconjugation, the partial charge over oxygen atom increases in the resonance hybrid. Now again, the methyl group shows what is called a plus effect that can also slightly increase charge, but inductive effect is of very little importance when we consider electronic effects. The highest magnitude is that of mesomeric effect or resonance effect, and second comes hyperconjugation, and inductive effect comes third. So here hyperconjugation is more important than inductive effect, and due to hyperconjugation the oxygen carries a positive charge, so that the resonance hybrid of this molecule acetaldehyde will be having a delta negative charge over the oxygen atom. Already in the case of a carbonyl group, there are two resonance structures, C double bond O and C plus O negative. Due to this resonance also, oxygen carries negative charge, and hyperconjugation actually increases the extent of the partial negative charge of oxygen atom, so that the dipole moment of carbonyl group of acetaldehyde will be higher than the case in which there is no hyperconjugation. In the case of this molecule, this is HCHO, that is formaldehyde. In the case of formaldehyde, there is no hyperconjugation and there is no inductive effect also. The dipole moment is 2.27 dBi, whereas in the case of acetaldehyde, where there is hyperconjugation from methyl group and also a slight inductive effect, that is less important. Mainly due to hyperconjugation, the partial positive charge over oxygen atom is increased, so that delta is increased, and we get a dipole moment value 2.72 dBi, which is higher than that for formaldehyde, where there is no hyperconjugation. And we must remember that magnitude of mesomeric or resonance effect is greater than that of hyperconjugation, which is greater than that of inductive effect. Now another example to consider is that of croton aldehyde. CH3 CH double bond CH single bond CO double bond O having an H. So this is an aldehyde group, hence the name croton aldehyde. And this pi bond or double bond and this double bond are conjugated, and the CH bonds here are conjugated to this conjugated system, so that extended conjugation can occur. Length of conjugation increases here, so CH bond shifting in this direction, this bond will be shifting in this direction in between 3 and 4 carbon, and this pi bond will be shifting over oxygen atom, giving it a negative charge, so we have H positive and O negative. And here, since there is extended conjugation and also shift of pi electron density in this direction, the sigma electron density and pi electron density combinedly coming over oxygen atom will have a higher delta negative in the resonance hybrid, so that the dipole moment value is very high, 3.67 dBi. So here we find conjugation, extended conjugation, and involvement of hyperconjugation. Now coming to another example, that is methyl cyanide, CH3Cl. Here also the 3 CH bonds are conjugated to this triple bond. So 3 such canonical structures are possible. CN bond ionizing in this direction, we get N negative, then H as H positive, combined to this structure, a single unit. We have 3 such canonical structures, and so methyl cyanide is also showing hyperconjugation. And one after effect of this hyperconjugation here is that the CN bond length will be slightly increased, because here we have a double bond and here we have a triple bond, and CC bond will have an increased bond order, so that bond length will be shorter than the free structure, carbon-carbon single bonded structure. So much about methyl cyanide. Then coming to propyne, a similar situation here. We have 3 such canonical structures. Now one point which I made a mistake in the previous discussion is that a C double bond N NH2 system will be having a positive charge, and I told you that any positive species will be having a vacant orbital. That is wrong. The positive nitrogen here does not possess a vacant orbital, and again the system 3 double bond OH positive, the oxygen does not possess a vacant orbital. But when this electron pair shifts over nitrogen, the pair of electron in this bond is going entirely into the orbital of nitrogen, and we get